A WSU grad turned Cowlitz County Sheriff's deputy died in the line of duty overnight. Today, officials are searching for the suspect and more answers on what happened.
We stayed dry in the Spokane area today, but it was still cold and breezy. Good news, temperatures are on the rise this week.
They began in Texas. Now at least 8 people have been killed and more than 20 injured as powerful storms continue to sweep across the South. Let's get right to breaking news. We have an update on a developing story we've been following closely. The Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office says they shot and killed the suspect allegedly responsible for killing Deputy Justin DeRozier. We're told shots were fired and there were no officer injuries and the suspect has died. The situation has been resolved and there is no longer any danger to the community. Of course, we'll continue following this story overnight and bring you updates on KREM.com.
It's been an emotional day for the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office and Kelso community.
Most of us have known him most of his life. I apologize. There were few cops who want to be a cop more than Justin did. He loved his job. He was incredibly good at it. And as you can imagine, as I'm obviously showing, this is very personal for our agency.
29-year-old Justin DeRozier was not only a deputy filled with potential, he was also a husband and a father to a 5-month-old daughter named Lily.
Who's always going to know what an incredible man her father was.
She's always going to know because of the impact he already had in this community. Deputy Justin DeRozier grew up here. He graduated from Kelso High, then left to go to Washington State University in Pullman, where he then worked for the Whitman County Sheriff's Office for 3 years before returning to work for the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office in 2016.
As anybody who knows Justin will agree to this, that Justin was a bull in a china shop. You knew when Justin was there, and he had that presence that couldn't be overlooked.
Just before 9:30 last night, investigators say DeRozier was called to a parking complaint involving a motorhome seen here in our Sky 8 footage. This is on Fowler Road, about 3 miles east of I-5 along Kalama River Road. Shortly after arriving, DeRozier radioed to dispatch that shots were fired and he'd been hit. You can hear him say he's been shot over the radio, but we're choosing not to play that audio at this time. About a minute later, dispatch says they haven't heard from him.
No, we don't know anything. He just got on the radio, said he's been shot, and now he's not answering us. He was on a parking complaint.
Other officers then rushed to the scene. A Kalama police unit got there first and was able to get DeRozier out of there and take him to an ambulance waiting down the road. He was then life-flighted to Southwest Washington Medical Center in Vancouver, where he died in surgery shortly after midnight. His family made it to the hospital, but did not get to see him before he died.
He will be with us forever, and he'll be truly missed.
That was Lindsay Nadrich from our sister station in Portland. Let's get you caught up again on what we know about this breaking news situation. Of course, the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office saying that they killed the suspect. That person has not been identified. Earlier this afternoon, they told us they had a person of interest, but we don't know if that's the same person that was shot and killed tonight. This was the first time in 165 years the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Department lost a deputy in the line of duty. In other breaking news we're following tonight out of Ferry County, the Sheriff's Office received a report of a body found in the Republic area earlier today. The body was identified as John Kidwell, a recent missing person. The Coroner's Office and the Sheriff's Office are still investigating the circumstances leading up to the death. We, of course, will update you on this breaking news situation as it comes into our newsroom. It's been a cold weekend with off and on light showers. Although the sun is expected to peek through the clouds, cold temperatures are still expected to stick around at least for the first half of the week. Folks heading to work or school tomorrow will want a coat. Michelle, you were telling me the temps will be near freezing.
Yeah, tomorrow morning is going to be a chilly one, and boy, it still may seem like winter up in the mountain passes where they've had snow all weekend at both Stevens and Snoqualmie Pass. Coming down pretty hard right now, the snow is at Snoqualmie. We've also seen some snow showers at Lookout Pass as well, and can see a continuation of some light snow showers even into tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 30s right now in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, still in the upper 40s in Moses Lake, 37 in Sandpoint, 41 in Lewiston. On our satellite and radar picture, we've had a few light showers moving through during the evening hours, maybe even a little bit of graupel or snow pellets from about the Rockford area eastward into Idaho. But that is winding down overnight. The next 3 days look like this. A chilly start to your Monday. Temperatures near freezing, only warming up into the lower 50s with mostly cloudy skies. We should see milder temperatures on Tuesday, and Wednesday's not looking bad. Partly cloudy, highs warming up to 60 degrees.
Looking ahead to Monday, in light of the recent announcement that 325 Spokane public school employees will be laid off, students and faculty want people to wear green and brown to school tomorrow. This is to show support for those at the end of this school year who will be laid off and to show that they stand by those staff members. We are following every step of this developing story. Be sure to stay up to date on KREM.com. Next year, hundreds of Washington schools will offer every student breakfast after the first bell rings. This is being done in hopes of boosting the number of students who eat a nutritious meal before class. The program is called Breakfast After the Bell, and it stems from a new law Washington lawmakers passed last year, which allows students to eat breakfast in the classroom. Schools where over 70% of students qualify for free or reduced price lunch will be required to offer some form of the program, such as allowing breakfast for students at their desk, providing a grab-and-go meal cart, or serving breakfast a second time during a passing period or recess later during the day. The Spokane School District will be one of those districts offering breakfast. American Airlines is canceling 115 flights per day through mid-August because of ongoing problems with the Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. Boeing says they plan to finish fixing the planes in late April. The cancellations represent 1.5% of American's total flights each day this summer. American has 24 737 MAX jets and previously planned to cancel flights through early June. The company says extending cancellations will allow them to plan for more reliable for peak travel season, and the airline says its reservations and sales teams will work with customers to manage their travel plans. After President Trump doubled down on his idea to move the overflow of migrants at the southern border to U.S. sanctuary cities, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders announced today it was only one of many options, but she hopes Congress would work with the president on a comprehensive immigration overhaul.
We'll bring them to sanctuary city areas and let that particular area take care of it, whether it's a state or whatever it might be. California certainly is always saying, oh, we want more people. And they want more people in their sanctuary cities. Well, we'll give them more people. We can give them a lot.
The administration is dealing with an ever-increasing number of Central American migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border, but moving migrants to sanctuary cities could actually make it more difficult for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to arrest people facing deportation, as sanctuary cities do not work with ICE. However, Washington Governor Jay Inslee said this morning he would be happy to accommodate.
We need more processing facilities to help these folks. And yes, while they're waiting for their asylum hearings, we're welcoming them to the state of Washington because we have found these folks frequently become pillars of our community.
In other news out of Olympia, a package of tenant protections, including extended eviction notice times, cleared its second vote in the legislature. The proposal extends notice periods from 3 days to 14. It also bans evictions for non-payment of fees, and it requires landlords to apply payments to rent before fees. The bill passed both houses, but with new amendments from the House, it heads back to the Senate before going to the governor's desk. A Tacoma man received an unexpected delivery. David Schreider is a former Marine. It's why the first letter he received from the Department of Veterans Affairs didn't seem unusual. The letter explains some changes to his benefits. He's used to getting these sorts of letters because when there's a major change that affects veterans. But what caught him off guard was the package he received 2 hours later. When he opened it, he found a letter folded and an address to him placed on top of a stack of papers. And even more unusual, the stack contained hundreds of copies of documents containing sensitive information.
I took all the things out and I started looking at it. This is not my records. And then I realized that this is copies of the same record that I received 2 hours earlier.
Those documents had usernames, addresses, and social security numbers of veterans all over the country. When the VA came to pick up the documents from Schreider, they said they were sent to him by mistake. Our Seattle sister station reached out to both the VA and UPS. UPS only responded that they completed an investigation. However, they don't disclose customer information. Multiple sclerosis affects more people in the greater Northwest area than anywhere else in the U.S., according to the National Walk MS Society. Today, people all over the region came together in Spokane to raise money and awareness for the disease with a walk that started at Spokane Falls Community College. KREM 2's Shayna Waltower was there and tells us how people hope this event will make a difference.
Yeah, I'm standing here at the finish line of victory as more than 1,000 people came out today walking in support for themselves and family members, raising awareness for MS.
It's one of hundreds of walks across the U.S.
We want people to know here in Spokane and locally that there is a large community and support for those living with MS.
Starting at Spokane Falls Community College, the Walk MS Spokane event brought families, friends, and those personally affected by MS together for a mile of walking that goes a long way.
This is our second year of doing the MS walk, and I have MS myself, and I've had it for about 15 years. So this is really important to me and my family.
My mom has had MS for over 30 years, and this is our first time doing an MS walk or anything like this. I remember doing them as a kid, but as an adult, this is my first time. It was great, emotional.
Jordan Dope with the Walk MS Society says this year they've already raised more than $100,000, and that's just locally. She says the funds are going toward MS research and supporting families dealing with MS.
I didn't have a lot of time, but I was able to raise over $200 with our team, yeah. So, I mean, I was surprised that some of the people that I don't even know on Facebook donated to the cause, and yeah, it was awesome.
And for others, the community of support means just as much as raising money.
It's amazing just to have the excitement, to everybody yelling and getting together and everybody wearing something about MS and just the exposure of it. It's just it's exciting event.
In Spokane, Shayna Waltower, KREM 2 News.
It looks like everyone had a great time. Well, there's a bit of debate stirring in California. An American flag design that's been added to a handful of freshly painted Laguna Beach police cars is dividing residents. Next, we'll tell you why this new design is causing a bit of controversy.